Nelk have a brand new song, or should I call them Nelke? Because yes, I did actually finally decide to check the pronunciation, and yeah, they have got a Wikipedia page which confirms Nelke. So that's why I'm going to try and pronounce the name properly now. Although in my head, I'm going to just be thinking of them as Nelk forever. But yeah, this is a band who we first came across a little while ago. A few weeks back, actually, a few months back even, and I was just immediately taken by how crisp and interesting their musicianship was, and just they seemed to be a band who were able to deliver really cool melodic rock, but with a lot of interesting nuance and just a sense of personality to what they did. But as always, my primary thing, I'm a big songwriting fan, so I'm looking to see how they expand their songwriting as they go on. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they did they just sign to a record company? God, I'm getting confused. There's a lot of bands at the moment who are signing to record companies. Apologies. Either way, they've always had a huge amount of quality on their side. And so I'm looking to see how they expand upon that. This new song is called Greedy. And they've got 85,000 subscribers now. Wow. Okay. They are taking off. Anyway, let's jump in. This is Nelke with Greedy. Let's go. Oh, that's a proper rooftop video. You got a helipad. 踏み出した足はどっか震えているんだね。当然さ、なんでもないはずないからさ。きっかけだって不格好で最高夢もほらもう誰かを救ったでなぜだろう泣けてくる。じっとしてても迷子になるのはきっと僕らがここからだからだ。どんな綺麗な朝があったなんて夜があったなんて Oh, this is real summer rock and roll, isn't it? 今さら僕らは出会って変幻自在でよくある夢を見る。一つだけ焦ない夢を見る。I love that second phase of the chorus there. Oh, and a proper hook. 胸の奥の奥の扉ノックノック派手に捨てぶりの展開の手的に ライフがどうして最速の BPM 部屋の中で改札の前でレジ待ちとか誰かといても後々聞いたらドキドキバレには要注意。ずっと前から気づいてたんだ。That is a cool sound there. Again, listen to these little bits. You have that isolated bit of bass, then the isolated bit of keyboard, then you play guitar there. It's these cool little things popping in and out. That's so satisfying. Solo straight into the last chorus. Oh yeah, such a nice big classic dropping. Oh, I like that help note there. That was really cool. I love that technique. You don't hear that enough anymore. Really charming production. Key change right at the end. Okay. I respect that. After the final chorus. Oh my god, that final note killed me there. Yeah, that to me is like such a I really hope they wrote that themselves. I believe they write all their own songs, but I especially feel the need to check now after seeing this because this was just so well put together. All right, let's really dive into this because as far as I'm concerned, this is the sort of song where I listen to this and I think, okay, you've taken all of your potential, brought it together, and just in every single way, this feels like what I kind of was hoping they would grow into. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's going to be lots of variation in their sound, and that's what you want from any band. But sometimes you just hear like potential to go in a certain direction. You think, oh wow, they could be really successful if they do that. And as I mentioned, with a lot of their earlier stuff that we checked out, which I've heard from some people goes back even further than I actually thought before. So this band actually has quite a lot of history. The one thing that was clear is that the musicianship, the detail was really there. And they had obviously something of a penchant for these more catchy sort of rock and roll songs. And I'm thinking, if you can do that, if you can kind of get that level of detailed musicianship into genuinely really catchy, engaging songs, you're going to end up with something that kind of has that, dare I say, I don't like to do comparisons, but that kind of Mrs. Green Apple quality of being both catchy and detailed that will absolutely dominate the charts potentially, and for me that's exactly where this lands. Yes, obviously they have their own unique sound, but it has all of the qualities that I would associate with something like a Mrs. Green Apple, in that you have all of the musical complexities, but at the same time you have music where you just listen to it and go, that is the kind of rock and roll anyone could enjoy. The chorus is big and catchy and fun. The build up is great. I love that little breakdown in the second verse where we kind of get the funky little halftime kind of dancing, kind of almost, it's not like rap, but it's like a breakdown to kind of this funky rhythmic based vocal there. Enjoyed that bit. It was interesting because the bridge was just a guitar solo, and you guys know how I feel about that. Usually I prefer like bridges to have like a melodic bridge or something a little bit more. But just because there's a guitar solo in the bridge doesn't always mean it's bad. It's how you use it. I don't like when a guitar solo is just put there because it sounds like, oh, we couldn't think of anything else, so we just put a guitar solo in. In this particular case, it really ramps out of the second chorus, builds you up, and throws you into that final chorus really well. Also liked how, again, they took an interesting approach towards a very familiar J-rock concept. As I often joke, probably the most stereotypically recognizable quality or stereotype of J-rock is the last chorus always starts with a breakdown. The last chorus never just comes in. It always starts with a breakdown, few bars of that, and then everything drops in, which is why it was kind of really predictable when it was going to happen. However, I like the way they did this. They fully dropped everything out. It was just vocals and the hand clap. And the cool thing about that hand clap is obviously they'd kind of Chekhov's gun. They had kind of given us a little bit of a showcase of that earlier on in the song. They'd given us a little bit of that earlier in the song, so it didn't just come out of nowhere. Just the minute the hand clap came in, as a listener, even on first listen, you're prepared for it. You know it's coming in. You know exactly how it is. So the minute you hear, oh, we're just down to the claps, you just start clapping along anyway. So, the song set that up beautifully, executed it beautifully, and because it was just vocals and clap at that point, when everything dropped in, it obviously dropped in with more impact. I really love the fact that that final riff, that final refrain at the end, when we come out of the chorus, is done as a key change to the chorus. So the chorus itself came in with so much energy, it didn't need to be a key change. It just threw straight in the exact same key. But then just to finish that, rather than just, okay, the chorus is over, we just play a few notes to finish. It's like, no, even those last few notes, even that last refrain is going to have that key change punch. It gives it a little bit more glory. Yeah, so for me, this takes a lot of stereotypical pop rock qualities, but does them really well. I genuinely feel like this was just a perfect execution, and as I say, that's what I wanted from Neruke. Is I wanted them to deliver that kind of perfect rock and roll song, because that's what they've been kind of hinting at doing. And perfect is, obviously there's no one perfect, but that kind of thing where it's like a faultless rock and roll song where you can listen to it and go, look, whether you love it or not, that is they've taken every bit of potential and executed it. There's every little moment of the song, there's something interesting happening. Like, it's not just, oh, let's just keep on repeating this chord line. It's, oh, add a little bit of guitar here, the piano comes in for just a couple of bars and does something a bit different, or a couple of beats. And just these little interesting things are happening throughout. The chorus is great, the flow is great, and the song itself wasn't very long, I believe. So I got a warning thing coming up on my screen. Oh, it's 3.5 minutes. It felt quicker. Yeah, this to me was perfectly executed. Really enjoyed this. Of course, you can't. When it comes to these kind of rock and roll songs, you can't just do nothing but that for the rest of your career. And as I say, I do believe that as a band, they have got so much potential because of the musicianship and quality they show, that if they keep on expanding their songwriting and showing the range that they seem to also have indicated they've got, then we should be able to get a whole range of different songs from them. And I'm looking forward to seeing what other things they produce in the future. But I think whatever they did in the future, the one thing that I just felt like I needed to hear was them doing like a perfect, catchy, radio-friendly rock and roll song, which is still embracing all of the technical aspects, and that's what they did here. So in a way, I kind of feel like this is the good, right? We've hit cruising altitude kind of moment. It's like, all right, I'm ready. You've done that one thing that I kind of felt like was on the cards. It's like it's good. We've put the flag in the ground. We've dropped the anchor. Right. Let's see what else you can do. So I thought this was great. I'm looking forward to hearing more from them. It really does feel like hitting a stride. I think this is going to be a massive hit for them, as I say, for the reasons I said. Well, obviously, how big hits are not always down to how good a song is, it's how good your marketing is. But I believe they've got good people behind them. So I'm looking forward to seeing. I believe this has the potential to be a big hit, and I hope it is. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. As always, get in the comments. Let me know what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.